The month of April 2020 is going to be a pivotal point in the history of humankind. And there are 3 things that I advise you to do in April so you can stay positive and stay on that Ascension timeline.
You are divine.
Welcome, beautiful star family, beautiful star seeds, beautiful way showers, light workers, because that's who you are. And you are needed more than ever now in this time and in this upcoming month of April 2020. We all know what's going on in the world in the 3D timeline, and I'm just going to tell you this right now, and this is the theme of this video. As the darkness is descending upon us more and more, as the 3D timeline is going to peak in its, I would say, difficult aspects, in things that are actually real, that are true, that are looking like a disaster. This is going to peak in the next month or 2 or 3. But, as this is happening at the same time, the gates of New Earth are opening wide. So it's your choice. It is your choice. It is up to you where you want to stay, where you want to live, where you want to remain, where you want to actually be and experience life on this 3D very, very dire timeline. Or are you going to rise above it? Are you going to walk through, even see, be able to perceive and walk through, fly through those gates of New Earth? And New Earth is the 5D ascended version of our Earth right now, what I call the paradise matrix, heaven on earth. So basically the gates of heaven are opening for us, for those who can see it, who want it, who can perceive it, for those who are ready. And you can be ready, even if you say, right now I'm in the thick, I'm in the worst place I've ever been, people are getting sick, people are dying, I'm losing my job, I don't know what I'm going to eat tomorrow. It doesn't matter where you're at. It really doesn't matter. You still have the opportunity in this collective dark night of the soul to move through it and then rise above it and enter those gates of heaven. I've seen it. All the light workers that you see on YouTube are talking about the same thing. It's because we are seeing it. And yes, you are one of those light workers. And I know that deep in your heart, you have seen this, you have perceived it, you have felt it, even if it's just one little glimpse, one glimmer, one ray of sunshine, one hope, one little inkling. But if you're watching this video, if you found your way here, you have seen it, you have perceived it. So the first thing that you need to do in April, you need to call back that little glimmer, that feeling that has arisen in you. That knowing, you have to grasp whatever it is. If you're already flying above that 3D mass consciousness that I'm always talking about, the panic, the fear, that mass consciousness, that cloud that's very negative and dark, if you're already flying above it, right, and you already fully are aware, you can perceive that New Earth, those gates opening. If you're already through the gates, then keep going, right? Don't stop. Or if you are still in the middle of this very fearful, turbulent mass, if you're being pulled up and down, I've been thrown around emotionally a lot. If you've watched my last few live streams, I've told you about how twice I had psychic attacks, fear attacks. It's very strong what's happening right now. So what you have to do, no matter where you're at, you have to grasp whatever you have, whatever perception, knowledge, vision you have of New Earth, of what we're truly moving towards, because we're going there. We're not going to go back, okay? The negative aspects are not going to win. It's not going to happen. We already are on the way, but it's still a little bit of a battle. It's still a little bit of a battle globally, in the larger scale, and individually, each one of us. So you have to grasp and uphold the vision of new earth. Go into meditation every day and call forth new earth. Say, show me a vision of new earth. Show me a vision of the most perfect life that I can imagine. If you just every day for 5 minutes, just go into your best dream, your best visualization of how you want life to be. Do that. You must uphold that vision. You cannot let the negative vision of what's happening right now, what you're seeing every day in the media, what you're seeing in the news, the numbers that are being projected, all that. Don't let that overtake you and become part of your vision. Let it flow past you. Inform yourself a little bit if you can. If you watched my last live stream, I know that I can't. I tried to inform myself a little bit, and this whole thing came crashing down, where I started to feel symptoms of this virus, where I had a really tough time for a few hours, where I went into fear, probably for the first time in my entire life, because I don't know fear normally. Fear is not part of who I am. But this can happen to you in the next few months. Okay? In the next few months, if you don't uphold that vision every single day, every single morning, do your spiritual practice, do your affirmations, right? Write down your vision of new earth. Write down your empowerment affirmations. Keep doing your light work, your spiritual practice, because in the next month of April, I am telling you, if you are not strong, if you don't stand your ground, you will be pulled into the 3D matrix of terror, fear, negativity, of the timeline that is trying to pull us down. I mean, the timelines, I did a prediction, the first coronavirus video that I did a prediction of numbers, of a timeline. The timelines are shifting really fast. The timelines are going woo, 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 this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Right now we have like so many timelines, so many scenarios playing out because people are going crazy. There's a lot going on. People are making different choices every day that they would have made maybe a day before, a different one. So that's how timelines work. The mass collective, each choice that everyone is making can sway a timeline this way, that way, this way, that way. So the numbers that I predicted for the coronavirus, maybe it wasn't the best idea, but that's the information that I got. That timeline may have shifted a little bit, but I still know that we are not going down. It's not going to be a global catastrophe. Humans will not be wiped out from the face of this earth. That timeline is not going to happen. I feel the timeline we're moving towards is a timeline of positivity, a timeline of overcoming these problems, a timeline of us being woken up. It's like, wake up, tick, 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 wake up, wake up. This is waking us up. Perhaps this had to happen for us to finally wake up, for something really, really good to occur. If you look at history, there were always casualties along the way. Something many times had to happen. Things had to get really, really bad in order for afterwards a big change to occur. Think in your life. Have you had an addiction? Have you had an illness? Have you just continued with a bad habit until it got so bad that you crashed and then you said, okay, now this is the last chance that I have to make a change. And this is what's happening to us. This is what's happening to us. We've tolerated negativity. We've tolerated this system of I would say financial slavery. We all know about that. We've tolerated the dark forces, and yes, they are real. They are real. They are. We've tolerated this so long until it's all crashing down, until the manifestation is coming in form of this disease, this virus. If you look at the bigger picture, and now something had to happen. We really had to crash in order to wake up and say, okay, wait a minute, right? It's the difference of the frog being thrown in the boiling water and then he goes like this and scrambles out, or the frog slowly being cooked and sleeping until he's dead, okay? And we are being thrown in. We've been slowly cooked, but now the fire is up, the heat is there. And this is going to be a trigger for so many people to finally wake up, to finally say no more, no more. Like the Soma, you know, that novel, the Soma, the mass spell, that mass dream hypnosis that we've been under. Oh, everything is good. We're just going to live life. We're just going to keep being controlled by all the different systems. We're going to keep being controlled because that's what we've been living under the control of negative regimes, people, forces, right? And they've been slowly boiling the frog, slowly. But now they've turned up the heat so fast that we're like, whoa, okay, we're being boiled. Let's jump out of the pot. Okay, that's my analogy of what's happening. So upholding the vision, understanding what's going on, not just going along and letting yourself be hypnotized, infiltrated, vaccinated, 5G, right? All these things that are happening, just going along with it and until we are just little puppets, until that timeline of complete slavery and negativity manifests. No. A lot of us have woken up. Critical mass has been reached. We've heard that many times. Everybody said it. It is true. I've seen it in my vision. And we are on this timeline. I've talked about the splitting of the timeline for 1.5 years now. The splitting of the timelines. And now it is actually happening. The 3D timeline has gotten so bad and so turbulent that the 5D timeline is going right. We've been pulled down. The 5D timeline. It's like all the timelines, they're vibrating. And we're like, this is what we're like. We're trying to balance on the timeline of 5D. That's like a tightrope where someone is snapping the tightrope. We're walking on the tightrope of 5D. And then from below, there's these negative beings going ping, ping, and we're going whoa. And sometimes we might lose our footing and fall down and catch ourselves in the last moment and go back up again. That's the visual that I'm getting. But you have to keep going. You have to keep believing and trusting. You have to upkeep that vision and just keep going up until you get above that cloud of collective conscious that is so dark, especially in April. In April, things are going to ramp up a little bit even more. The news, the cases, the numbers, I feel they're going to ramp up a little bit more. So you have to be even more vigilant. And that's why I say the first thing you must do is uphold that vision of new earth every single day. Be conscious. Wake up. Wake up, be conscious. I know you're awake and conscious, I'm awake and conscious, but we let up. We have so many old programs and we need to work on that. You're sitting at home, you have time. Meditate. In April, start meditating. Start tuning your intuition, fine-tuning your intuition, like I showed you in one of those live streams. I think it was the third one that I did, counting back, where I talked about discernment. So point number two, discernment. You have to fine-tune your discernment in April. It is really important so that you can make the best choice for yourself. Because, okay, the thing is this, we can't completely escape 3D and just be floating up there and just, totally retreat from the world 100%. Yes, we have been enabled to retreat from the world and stay at home, but we still are in the physical world. And you still have to straddle both dimensions. So I know it sounds controversial, 3D, 5D, or on 5D, but we are still in one reality. It's like the reality is here and we are here and 3D is here, but we can very easily go down or up. We are still part of and living in the 3D reality, obviously. And we cannot escape from that 100%, and we shouldn't, because we still have these bodies, we still have to go shopping, we have to eat. You see, the ascension is a wobble. It is a process. It is walking actually two tight ropes, one below and one up, like one leg up, one leg down. So, do you understand what I mean? So you have to discern. The second point is discernment. You have to discern who to listen to, what to do, what action to take. You have to fine-tune your intuition to the max. You have to know instantly, this person is talking rubbish. This is a program. This is a negative person. I should do this. I should do that. This is the medication I should take. I should go out shopping now, I should stay home now. The vaccine is coming out, I should take it or I should not take it. Right? The vaccine's going to come out. Medication is coming out. You have to discern. You have to learn to recognize truth. That's what you have to do. So your discerning in every moment is really important. And I've been practicing this a lot in the last 6 months. And you can ask for guidance. Ask for guidance from your heavenly team, from your team of light. Say, guide me subconsciously. Guide me subconsciously so I just move throughout my day, free flowing, doing the right thing at the right time. And for that, you have to be calm. You have to uphold the vision. You have to have an intention. You have to be very intentional, right? So upholding the vision of New Earth is actually being intentional and deciding where you are going. It's making a choice where you are going and how fast you're going there. So discerning is going to be easy if you hold the intention of what you want and you're very aware and conscious every moment of the day, and you're not running like a hamster on a wheel, having your emotions, the negative emotions, take over. And then making choices out of fear, out of panic, or out of anything but true inner guidance. Okay? So, number three, for April, and for the next months to come, but let's talk about April. April is the time where the gates of 5D are opening wide. So you have the opportunity to accelerate your personal ascension process apart from the collective. We do live in the collective, that's the thing. But ascension is twofold, right? The earth is ascending, the collective is ascending. But you, as an individual soul, powerful creator of your experience, can have your own ascension timeline and reality apart from the rest. If you think about it, there have been many ascended masters through the ages who ascended even though the rest of the world was not ascended at all. And they were able to ascend in their own personal journey. So it is time for you to realize that you can choose your own reality, your own ascension timeline. The bubble I always talk about, the 5D bubble, you have to wake up to the fact that you can individually, apart from anything else, be in a different place, reality, experience, and timeline. So you can create your own individual ascension timeline where you will be safe, where you will experience more and more and more heaven on earth every single moment. And in April, the gates are opening. So get that energy, receive the stream of the energy of the gates of heaven of 5D. Take them into your life so you move through the eye of the storm. That metaphor I always have, the storm around you, but the bubble is your own personal ascension timeline, right? That second one that I'm talking about, the second part of ascension, not the collective, this part. So in April, there will be very different perceptions of reality of different people, and you get to choose which one you want to be part of. I experienced this in the past few days where I just wanted to inform myself by just checking the news up every once in a while, and that dragged me down into the timeline of the 3D terror, horror, virus symptoms. Those who haven't seen that live stream, I felt the symptoms of the virus after checking in and tuning in and focusing on and expanding that 3D virus timeline. I actually sat there at 3 a.m. in the morning and I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe. I started coughing. I felt terrible. My body hurt. I thought, I got the virus. I'm sick. That's what I truly thought suddenly. And I realized it was because I was tuning in as an empath so closely into that timeline that I was dragged right into it in the moment and becoming part of the worst part of it there and then. And I thought, wow, this is powerful. And that proved to me that this is true. You can choose where you want to go. You can choose your experience. You can choose it. Now, if you're saying, but I'm enlightened, I've been doing this work, I'm still sick, I'm feeling bad. Okay, it doesn't happen overnight. There is a little bit of practice, there's a little bit of time involved, but right now you can do it faster than ever before. You can choose, you can decide, I'm going to be on the heavenly, heaven on earth, 5D new earth timeline now for myself. I'm choosing that path. I'm choosing the path of bliss, of joy, of brilliant health, of prosperity, where all my needs are met, where every day I have beautiful experiences. That's what 5D is. 5D is the heavenly version of Earth. It's paradise. That is the truth. That's why it's called the Paradise Matrix. That's why you can choose that specific reality for yourself. Choose paradise. And I started doing this last year. And since last year, those who follow me know this, I have been in the bliss and in the flow more and more and more. Before this happened, I was already there. So that's why right now, me personally, I am not affected if I don't allow myself. I'm still experiencing bliss and joy. It's been a little harder, I must say, because if you are still tuned in and tapped into the collective, the empathy, I mean, it's difficult, okay? I get it. Even for me, my bliss and my joy has been dampened a lot, but I have seen glimpses of new earth that are even more blissful and more joyful than everything that I've experienced in the past 6 months. I have seen that it is possible. I have the message right now. I asked my Pleiadian Council of Light to come in to help me express this. The Pleiadian Star Commander is there too, and she showed me this vision of Earth, just in a flash like this. She showed me the vision of Earth, of many, many people with a cloud around them, but then a lot of other bright lights, points of light and points of 5D bubbles, many, many people, and they're getting brighter and brighter and brighter. But there is this huge like overlap, the timeline overlap, the wobble, right? That's going on. And you can be caught up in it in a second if you're not vigilant. Especially in April, things are ramping up even more. April, May, June, I'm seeing, right? So, talking about April now, be conscious. Be conscious. Choose to step into that ascension timeline for yourself, not part of the collective. And that's why I'm saying you can do it. You can do it. I've been doing it, and I've been thrown around in the storm. But I'm always coming back to center. I'm coming back. I'm on my ascension timeline. I've seen a glimpse of paradise. I'm meditating. I'm asking my guides. And I feel that in April, we're getting used to this a little bit. I mean, we've been in this roller coaster for 3-4 weeks now. This roller coaster of the collective consciousness ramping up, all the negativity, all the fear. We've been able to come to terms. We will be able to stabilize in April because we're used to it. We've caught ourselves, okay? We have caught ourselves. And now in April, we will be able to really stabilize and go back up and experience that ascension, the ascension symptoms, the positive ones, right? We will be able to experience those again, and we will be able to throw off the negative symptoms again. We will be able to do that. But it's up to you. You have to do the work. It's not automatic. And now you are seeing the results of the past year of the work you have or have not been doing in a spiritual sense. Where are you at? What is your situation? I'm looking around at everybody, analyzing. And now is where it's showing. Where you're at right now, physically, mentally, is the result of the work, the result of the care you've taken, the result of your spiritual practice, the result of your own empowerment that you've been doing in the last year. It's the result. So if you're in a bad place, just snap out of it and say, wow, okay, all right, okay, that's fine. I'm in a bad place now. I have not been doing the work properly. Or maybe just don't blame yourself. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm just saying snap out of the victim mentality And I know it's real, believe me, I've been there. I have so much empathy for every person suffering, but this is the only way that you can really step out of that suffering if you are very low. Say, okay, I'm going to step out of the victim mentality. I'm going to empower myself. I'm going to take responsibility for where I am, and I'm going to change it. It's that easy. I'm going to change it. I'm going to start to empower myself. I'm going to do all the light work that I can, and I'm going to experience my own ascension now. That is possible. So, those are the three things that you can do in April to come to a better place, to stay in a good place, to truly help your ascension process along. And at the very end now, those who have stayed, who are still with me, yes, it is a battle of light and dark. It is. Those who are saying, is it the end days? Is it the final battle? Yes, it is. But it's the end days. What days are going to end? The bad days are going to end. That's how I see it, right? The crappy days are going to end. It's the end of days of the suppression of mankind. That's what it is. And a new age is coming. So I think it's a good end of days. That's how I see it. And you can see I have more energy now. I am feeling so much better because I have been able to stabilize myself and say, okay, we're going to win. The forces of light are going to win. We have already won, but it doesn't mean you can say, okay, we've won. I'm just going to sit down and do nothing. You got to be vigilant. You got to do your work. You got to be conscious. You got to, right? We're still fighting. We're still in warrior mode. I'm in warrior mode. We're light warriors. We're warriors of the light, and we have to uplift everybody else around us who may not be in that position, okay? So I see it as very, very positive. So if in April you start seeing more bad news, things are playing out in the next 1, 2, or 3 months. Things are still going to play out. Things are still going to continue to come to a peak. But if you stay steady, you don't have to be part of it, and you can help the earth and her people come out of it faster. And it's up to you. Each one of you, every single moment that you uphold the light, that you help another person, that you see everybody with kindness, that you are helping other people, that you are spreading your light, that you are calling in your light, that you are moving on your own personal timeline of ascension. Every time you do that, you're helping the earth move up. You're helping others, right? Each point of light, and I see you all as points of light. You and me, we are points of light. The more bright we shine and the more of us there are, the more the whole ascension timeline, the mass consciousness, Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, everybody on the planet, the faster they will be able to ascend and move out of the darkness. So it's important that you play your part. So you are not only doing this for yourself, you're doing this for the whole of humanity by doing your work, your spiritual practice, calling in the light, moving through the storm, upholding the light. We have to do this, okay? So now let's do a little 5D Heavenly Gate opening activation for you. Just a few minutes. So I've got a stick right here. I didn't bring my crystal, and another thing. So let's do this. I want you to visualize the gates of New Earth opening. Just visualize a version of Earth, brighter, more crystalline. Paradise on Earth. Coming closer and opening up for you. Namaste.